Hi everyone, my name is Kier. I am here to do a deck tech on Mayael the Anima. This was the first EDH deck that I ever built, and by virtue it's actually going to be the first deck tech I ever do. So, hope you enjoy. Comments and questions in the section below. I hope to answer almost all of them. I love this deck. To be perfectly honest, I think she's very, very powerful. I love to lend it out to people who don't have an EDH deck of their own. It's very straightforward in what it does. You get to play big fat idiots and start beating face. If you're a newer player, don't have a very good grasp of the game, it's very easy to pick up what it does. If you're a more experienced player, there's a lot of interplay and a lot of synergy that rewards you for being a better player. So, I'm not going to explain what all these cards do. I assume that if you're here, you know what most of them do. So we've got Mayael the Anima, got Command Tower, we've got Jungle Shrine, we've got Savannah, Taiga, and Plateau, got Temple Garden, Stomping Ground, and Sacred Foundry, Windswept Heath, Wooded Foothills, Arid Mesa, got Sunpetal Grove, Rootbound Crag, and Clifftop Retreat. We've got 9 basic forests, 6 basic plains, and 3 basic mountains. And the reason for such a robust basic land package is twofold. A lot of your ramp searches for basic lands and puts it into play, and so you want targets. Secondly, I think it's more efficient to be searching for lands and putting them into play versus playing a bunch of mana rocks, just because then your Mayael activations are more potent. We've got Kessig Wolfrun and Slayer's Stronghold, Homeward Path, Winding Canyons, Mosswort Bridge. It's a lot easier to meet the criteria for Mosswort Bridge versus the red or the white one in this kind of deck. We've got Strip Mine and Horizon Canopy. Both are very powerful cards, and both become more powerful if you can do it multiple times in a game because of Sun Titan. We've got Exploration. Exploration is a great way to get ahead very quickly. We've got Sakura Tribe Elder, Farseek, Rampant Growth. Got Courser of Krufix, which isn't a card I actually have played with yet in this deck, but the people who have gotten the opportunity to play it say they like it quite a bit. There's no Siege Rhino in this deck. I don't think I want one. If you want to play a Courser of Krufix Siege Rhino deck, I'm sure that one exists somewhere, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. We've got Yavimaya Elder, Santa Claus. We've got Wood Elves, Kodama's Reach, Cultivate, Search for Tomorrow, Chromatic Lantern. I think Chromatic Lantern is more powerful than Coalition Relic in this format. It lets you tap your fetches for mana without cracking them, and you can hold them up for a shuffle later on. We've got Skyshroud Claim, Oracle of Moldiah. Winvali Acid Moss is very strong. I like it if your playgroup is a bit more cutthroat. A little tiny bit of land destruction is alright by me, and it gets you further ahead. Reap and Sow, same deal. I think this card is criminally underplayed. It tutors for any land, puts it into play untapped. There are not too many of those effects in Magic. Got Karametra. She gets hit off of Mayael, but I decided to include her here just because basically she is a ramp card, and that's ideally what you're just going to get her down to do. Got Garruk Wildspeaker plus untap 2 target lands. That's basically his only ability. He's got a -4 that pops up every now and then, but a lot of the times he's the bridge between 5 mana and 7 mana. Got Garruk Caller of Beasts. Caller of Beasts comes down for 6 mana and lets you plus to draw a bunch of cards. You get to put stuff into play for free with him, and then you've got an ultimate that'll just win the game. We've got Worldly Tutor. I like Worldly Tutor quite a bit actually in this deck, more so than any other Worldly Tutor deck. You get to put it into play directly if you have Mayael in play. Reason being, it's an instant, puts it on top of your library, and then you can activate Mayael to put it into play. So if your opponent's casting a Wrath, you can respond, Worldly Tutor, grab Avacyn, put it on top, and then Mayael to put Avacyn into play. Got Enlightened Tutor, not a very large enchantment package in this deck, but it's important to have. The ones you want to draw. Eldamari's Call, we've got Green Sun Zenith, we've got Court of Calling. Court of Calling is the same idea as Worldly Tutor. It's an instant speed tutor that puts stuff into play. Your opponent is going to cast All Is Dust because you've got an Avacyn in play. Oh, okay, cool. Well, we're going to cast Court of Calling for 5, grab Sigarda. Got See the Unwritten. I quite like this card. I think it's pretty powerful. Ferocious is not hard to trigger. Got Tooth and Nail, wins games. Got our removal package, which is Swords to Plowshare and Path to Exile as cheap exile effects. Oblation, Beast Within, and Chaos Warp are unconditional, more expensive removal. Chaos Warp and Oblation tuck commanders, which is pretty powerful. We got Sylvan Library and Greater Good. Both draw cards. Greater Good has incredible synergy with Kessig Wolfrun. Both of them kind of draw cards. You've got enough life in this format that Sylvan Library isn't too bad. You can usually pay 8 once or twice a game. Got Sensei's Divining Top, which is a great way to see what's coming up. For Mayael, we've got Legion's Initiative. A lot of people in my playgroup have started playing Hollowed Burial. Legion's Initiative helps you dodge that. We've got Scavenging Ooze. It's an obligatory graveyard hate, and it's just a very powerful card as well. We've got Molten Disaster. I love this card. I think this card is so good. You can kick it to kill a control player just out of nowhere, and they never see it coming. You can Molten Disaster for 5 fairly easily, and then just wrath a board that has a bunch of Sakura Tribe Elders and Yavimaya Elders and stuff, and there's nothing they can really do about it. We got Genesis Wave. Genesis Wave for double digits is not uncommon in a deck like this. Got Seedborn Muse, easily the most powerful card in this deck. It lets you start Mayaeling on every player's turn. We've got our creatures that get hit off of a Mayael activation. We've got Avenger of Zendikar, Army in a Can, his best buddy, Perforos, God of the Forge. You can usually kill players by doing that. A lot of the times you can finish off a game just by Tooth and Nail for Perforos Avenger. Got Wormcoil Engine and Windbrisk Raptor. Both of these kind of gain you life. It's important to have at least a little bit of a life gain package in EDH, just so that you can stay in games that you might excuse me, you might otherwise be out of. We've got a couple angels here that make control players kind of have fits. Sigarda, Avacyn, and Iona. All of them make playing Magic a little bit more difficult for your opponent. We've got Vorinclex, same deal as the Charlie's Angel Squad. He ramps you super fast. I don't typically expect him to stick around for more than a turn, but games that he does are usually an absolute breeze. We've got Terastodon and Woodfall Primus. Both of these destroy a bunch of non-creature permanents. Sylvan Primordial was in this deck too as well, and that card was just so good. I really miss it, but these guys do the trick just as well. Got Ulamog. Ulamog you don't typically cast. A lot of times you just Mayael off it. It lets you shuffle your graveyard back into your library, and an Annihilator 4 indestructible 10/10 usually will just kill your opponent pretty quickly. Got Sun Titan. This is the recursion kind of creature package. Got Sun Titan, Angel of Serenity, and Moldgraph Monstrosity. Let you play creatures back out of your graveyard and get them back. Got a bunch of removal creatures. Balefire Dragon, Soul of Chandelar, which I actually quite like. Scourge of Care Ridges, Pyroclasm on a flying body. Bogardan Hellkite, and Vigor. Vigor and Scourge of Care Ridges. This is just absolutely insane. There have been so many games where I can just attack with a couple things, have Vigor in play, have Scourge of Care Ridges, just Pyroclasm a bunch, and make my team huge. Got Yosei the Morning Star. These are just a couple more value cards. These ones typically can be interchanged, but I like them where they are. Got Yosei, Rurik Thar, and Xenagod. And so yeah, that is the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get the chance to play Mayael at some point. She's an absolute doll, total angel. My name is Kier. Gentleman's Soul Ring on turn 2. You have yourself a great day.